From getting jailed for taking advantage of his underage fans, to retiring on her own terms after having problematic videos resurface, here are 6 YouTubers who destroyed their own reputation, starting with one of the most loved and popular creators, Jenna Marbles. Jenna Marbles, who was one of the most recognizable creators during that time, amassing 19 million subscribers with a loyal fan base who genuinely loved her work. She was collaborating with some of the biggest channels at the time, even produced a movie called Maximum Ride and was featured in Madame Tussauds Museum. Once you get there, it usually means you're pretty famous. So what happened? In a nutshell, cancel culture. Amidst the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, creators were being outed for some shady stuff in their past, and Jenna was caught in the crossfire. One of her older videos resurfaced where she was imitating Nicki Minaj by doing blackface. And in another instance, Jenna was accused of shaming women for what they got up to in their personal lives. Many of her fans argued that the videos were old and Jenna shouldn't be held hostage for her past behaviors, while others demanded an apology. On June 25th, 2020, Jenna responded to the drama in a now deleted video where she confronted her past and owned up to her mistakes.
I've definitely done things in the past that weren't great, and I'm not completely unproblematic.
She also addressed the video of her shaming women, talking about how she felt embarrassed for putting that video out there.
I ranted about girls that ran around and slept around, and that's wrong.
But it was the end of the video that really shocked many of her fans, as Jenna talked about leaving YouTube.
I think I'm just gonna move on from this channel for now.
Even though she said she may return, this was the last video Jenna ever posted on her channel. Fans were devastated, posting comments like, "People change constantly. She changed for the better now. She apologized for her past. Then it shouldn't matter anymore. She really shouldn't have been canceled." And even popular creators like Moist Critical giving his take on the matter, saying, "The internet mob really controls lives. It feels like I was watching a hostage being held at gunpoint. You need the internet's permission to be friends with people and can never make a single mistake even when you were a kid." While Jenna has disappeared, her partner, Julian, still regularly streams on Twitch and provided an update in December 2022, announcing the two got married. And while Jenna was able to leave on her own terms, Wilbur Soot's entire reputation would be destroyed in the span of a couple of days. And while Wilbur's reputation may have been destroyed, what won't get your reputation destroyed is liking and subscribing to the channel. And also, leaving a comment down below for more videos like this one. By 2021, Wilbur Soot's career was at its peak. After joining the Dream SMP server, Wilbur's popularity skyrocketed and propelled him to tour with his own band across the world. However, everything would be taken away from him after some serious allegations came to light. But before his fame with Minecraft, Wilbur was already experimenting on YouTube, creating several channels until he finally landed on a personal channel named Wilbur Soot. Here, Wilbur mainly posted Minecraft content, and with his personality and natural charisma, Wilbur gained a massive audience of over 1 million followers, and by April of 2020, Wilbur's fame was about to jump to the next level. He joined the Dream SMP and became more famous than ever before, as he gained 6 million subscribers and fit in perfectly with the storyline the existing members were working on.
Tommy, are we the bad guys?
Following that, Wilbur went back on one of his former dreams of making it as a musician, as he officially launched his band Lovejoy and released their debut EP titled Are You Alright on May 9th, 2021. With the success of his YouTube career, Wilbur was able to attract a lot of his fans towards his music and gained praise from popular streamers on the internet.
He's really good at singing, actually.
It's safe to say that Wilbur was on top of the world. He was able to fulfill his dream of being a musician and had a successful YouTube persona to go along with it. However, by 2024, everything Wilbur had worked towards would come crashing to a halt. On the 21st of February 2024, creator Shelby Shovel posted a stream titled Talking About Something More Serious, during which she detailed her experiences with an abusive ex-boyfriend.
So I thought that this wasn't violent enough to be abuse.
Shelby went on to mention that the biting wasn't initially that big of a deal, but as the relationship went on, it became a constant thing, which led to her being covered in bruises all the time.
I was covered in bruises all over my arms, and they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun.
Following the video, the internet quickly figured out that Wilbur was the person in question, and then came a massive pile of angry and disappointed fans. He lost over 250,000 subscribers over the next week, and while that wasn't bad enough, Wilbur then posted his side of the story on the 27th of February 2024. The apology read, "In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that, although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish." In the rest of the apology, Wilbur added that he'd been seeking therapy for his behavior, but also made a point to mention that the biting was always consensual and mentioned how Shelby always enjoyed those encounters. It's safe to say that community didn't take too well to this apology, with comments like, "Your lack of of accountability and ignorance doesn't shock me. I've had to watch you try to intimidate and manipulate my friends. You showed them a similar, if not worse level of respect when held accountable before. You make me want to throw up. Get a grip. Wilbur's career took a sharp nosedive as he quickly became one of the most hated figures in the community. Soon after, however, another Twitter user came out with allegations on the 9th of March 2024 with the user Alice Nyan Nya, who tweeted her own experience with Wilbur. Following these allegations, Wilbur was nowhere to be seen for a while before posting an update on his Instagram story about what he's been up to. Shelby, however, wasn't having the excuse of hiding behind depression to justify Wilbur's actions.
What I said was, depression is not an excuse for abuse, and I'll say that again and again and again.
The incident all but marked Wilbur's retirement from YouTube, having not posted on his channel since 2022. But unlike Wilbur, Austin Jones' crimes were far more severe, which eventually led to Austin being sentenced to prison. Austin Jones is one of the original YouTubers who started on the platform in 2007, eventually growing his channel by posting covers of popular songs from the era. He had successfully manipulated the YouTube algorithm and grown substantially over the next couple of years, but sadly, that wasn't the only thing he manipulated. By 2015, several girls came out with evidence claiming that Austin was a predator who preyed on the young, impressionable girls in his audience, which he'd worked so hard to create and use his influence to get his way with them. Videos surfaced of him giving twerking tutorials to his fans so they could learn something and try and mimic these movements for Austin's pleasure. Following these allegations, Austin uploaded an apology video titled Setting the Record Straight, where he tried to gaslight viewers into believing he was the victim in this situation, as all the negative comments were affecting his mental health.
These life events, all of these deaths, this loss, left me with a really deep depression.
He further added that his older sister tragically passed away when he was 6 years old, somehow trying to connect the dots for his audience as to how experiencing trauma at a young age can lead you to inflict trauma on other people. People in the comments weren't having it, however, saying stuff like, "Don't use the death of your poor sister for sympathy points. What an insult to her memory and those that will forever mourn her." Unfortunately for underage girls, Austin Jones was arrested in June of 2017 after a US judge signed a warrant to search his house. Following the search, Austin was taken into custody in O'Hare International Airport on 2 counts of having some extremely inappropriate stuff sent to him by underage girls. A bond of $100,000 was posted for his release, but Austin was kept on house arrest and was barred from using the internet until his trial, which took place in 2019, where Austin pleaded guilty to the charges. In his plea agreement, Austin confirmed that he'd messaged dozens of young girls with the hope of getting them to prove how big fans they were by sending him inappropriate pictures and videos, all while Austin promised them modeling opportunities, which was all a lie. Currently, Austin is held in the Federal Correctional Institution, Loretto, where he will stay until at least 2027. Austin's retirement from YouTube was definitely not on his own terms, but it doesn't seem like he'll be able to make a return as a YouTuber considering his reputation. However, another creator who has been able to retain his audience despite several controversies is Sneako. Looking at his early career, you wouldn't think this was really how Sneako started out. He was considered one of the most creative people on the platform thanks to his editing skills and his unique content, which was rare at the time. And his approach was pretty successful as he'd gained over 1 million subscribers on his main channel, which was growing by the day. But somewhere along the line, Sneako realized the potential of streaming live, and as more of his videos got popular on TikTok, Sneako was growing at an incredibly fast speed. But this is where things began changing. Whether it was for the camera, or whether this was who Sneako always was, his personality began to change as Sneako became louder, more argumentative, and controversial in his statements.
Look at that, obese bird, confirmed off the meds. Suck my d, you nerd.
Taking a page out of Andrew Tate's book, Sneako focused more towards a red pill right-wing ideology, calling out the left-wing agenda and being extremely vocal about his views online. His content at the time could be described as rage bait, with the intention of getting as many people mad as possible. But by 2022, he was banned from YouTube permanently after repeatedly violating the terms of service. And it wasn't just YouTube by that point either, as Sneako had already crossed too many people for many to fight for his return. Despite this, Sneako doubled down on his content style on Kick, aligning himself with a right-wing ideology. But whenever he gets called out by his own fans, Sneako can't accept it.
Bro, it's literally a Halloween costume, and I've seen so many Kick streamers do this. It's very clear that they have a bias against me, apparently.
However, despite the controversies, Sneako's YouTube was recently reinstated in October 2024. However, Sneako would once again be banned from the platform just 24 hours later. The unbanning was met with widespread comments, calling out YouTube for allowing Sneako a platform again, which might have been the reason why they turned back from their decision. And following a day after he was banned again from YouTube, Sneako was officially banned from Twitch as well. Cherry on top, the following day he was banned from Kick too. With 3 strikes and his Rumble contract up as well, Sneako announced his retirement.
I'm officially announcing, now that my Rumble contract is over, I'm retiring from streaming!
Maybe he'll make a comeback elsewhere, but his time on YouTube is over. But while Sneako was busy streaming, Boy in a Band took his controversy to a whole new level. You see, on the 2nd of February 2015, Dave cemented himself in the YouTube Hall of Fame after posting his song, Don't Stay in School.
I was never taught what laws there are. I was never taught what laws there are.
As the name suggested, the song questioned the effectiveness of the school system and how they don't teach kids valuable things about the real world. Dave was already quite popular by that time, posting many songs which had gotten decent views, but Don't Stay in School got him a different level of virality. But despite experiencing this growth, Dave was struggling with his mental health, something he shared in a video titled, I Hate Myself.
I've been having the most success I've ever had in my life and the least motivation to do anything.
After which, Dave took a year-long break and returned by posting a new song, I'm Not Dead. And with more collaborations with people like iDubbbz and PewDiePie over the next couple of years, Dave would eventually post his final video in December of 2019. While many fans didn't know what had happened, a few stories came out later which left people wondering what kind of person Dave actually was. On the 7th of September 2022, an anonymous Reddit user posted their experience with Dave and brought some shocking allegations to light. The post mentioned in detail Dave's issues with several ex-girlfriends, a history of abuse, and using his depression as a tool to manipulate younger girls. The statements made were, however, just allegations, and many people had their issues vocal, like this Reddit user who posted a comprehensive argument to the claims made. Despite the controversy, Dave hasn't responded to any of the claims, and no one really knows where he is or what happened to him. On the other hand, everybody knows what happened to the channel FPS Russia, and it was crazier than fiction. Kyle Myers, the creator of FPS Russia, initially started uploading Call of Duty gameplay, and then transitioned to doing it in real life.
Hello my friend, it is FPS Russia, and today I have a nice video for you.
His plan was, at least initially, to show the difference between guns in gaming and guns in real life. But as he realized that his gaming videos weren't doing as well as the other, he shifted his focus to shooting different firearms, keeping the fake accent.
Hello my friends, today it's Agent 47.
And it was a massive success, as FPS Russia was the 9th biggest channel on YouTube by December 2012. This event would, however, be where his career as a YouTuber would peak. Just 2 months later, Kyle's co-partner and arms supplier for the channel, Keith Ratliff, was found murdered in his gun store. Everything had turned upside down for Kyle, as he'd lost a longtime friend and the person who supplied him with the firearms to sustain his channel. Kyle took a break from YouTube for a while to mourn his friend, and wouldn't return for another month.
Hello my friends, it is FPS Russia, and we're back in action. So as many of you know, we lost a member of the team about a month ago, but I felt like it was time to get back into the swing of things.
However, just a month following his return, his house was raided by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. FPS Russia's viewership would gradually decline following the several breaks due to his issues in production and with the Bureau, and everything crumbled following another raid, which resulted in the FBI finding an illegal substance at his house.
I got caught with half an ounce of marijuana, and that's a felony.
Kyle was held for 50 days and ordered to pay a fine, but what was worse was Kyle had lost nearly 400,000 worth of guns and his channel.
What do they do with the guns? They just hold on to them, put them in a big vault somewhere?
Probably destroy them.
Oh, that's a shame.
Now, Kyle co-hosts the Painkiller Already podcast, and it seems unlikely that he'd ever go back to posting videos on FPS Russia.